Jean Piaget was a biologist who studied mollusks. He lived from 1896 to 1980. After he was finished studying mollusks, he moved on to study children. When he studied them, he observed them talking and interacting with other children while he worked on exercises with them. He became interested in how the child's mind worked, and he developed a theory on how children grew up. He said that children didn't simply grow up smoothly. Instead, there were certain taking off points or stages that they went through while they were growing up.
The first of these stages is the sensory motor stage, which occurs from birth to the age of 2. In this stage, children begin to walk, talk, make sense of their surroundings, and develop an anxiety of strangers. At birth, children lack object permanency, which is the ability to understand that even when a person or object is out of sight, it still exists. It isn't until later in this stage that children develop object permanency.
Do you see the ball? Do you like the ball? Okay, watch this. I'm putting the ball. Where did it go? Where's the ball? Do you see it? Where'd the ball go? Oh no! There it is! I found it! Here it is! Yay! Okay, let me see it. Alright, you see the ball? Where did it go? Where is it? Where's the ball? There it is! We found it! Yay! Okay, let me see. Truland. There's the ball. See it? Where'd the ball go? Where is it? There it is! See the ball? Where did it go? Mama doesn't have it. There it is. Yay! Can you do it one more time? All right. There's the ball. Where is it? Did it disappear? Where did it go? Oh no! Oh, there it is! Yay!
This clip shows a baby who is playing with the ball. His mother hides the ball while the baby watches. However, once the ball is hidden, the baby can't determine where it went. Piaget's theory says that babies lack object permanency during the sensory motor stage, which explains why babies cry when their mothers leave the room and why games such as peekaboo are so enjoyable.
Go. Show the kitty. Show the kitty. There you go. Yay! Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Yeah, put more room on there.
Get the big one. Show the kitty. Show the kitty. Show the kitty.
This clip shows a baby playing with a cat. According to Piaget, during the sensory motor stage, children learn the concept of cause and effect. In this case, the baby learned that if he swings the toy around, the cat will begin to play with it. The pre-operational stage takes place from the ages of 2 through 7. Through these ages, children will rapidly develop language skills which allow them to express themselves. In this stage, children are egocentric, which means they believe everyone sees the world as they do. Also at this age, children still lack conservation, which is the ability to understand that quantity doesn't change just because shape changes. Are these the same? Which one has more? which one has more? And which one has more? Alright, and which one has more? Piaget did a similar experiment where he took 2 glasses of the same size and filled them with water. He would then take one of the glasses and pour the water from it into a different shaped glass. After he did that, he asked the children which of the 2 glasses held the most water. Children during the pre-operational stage would often pick the taller of the 2. This is primarily because children in this age lack concentration and only have the capacity to focus on one aspect of the glass.
Picture. Nothing.
The concrete operational stage takes place from the ages of 7 through 11. In this stage, children develop conservation and egocentrism is replaced by the ability to consider many factors at once, which allows them to solve increasingly complex problems. This allows children to begin learning how to group like objects despite not being identical and put them in order according to size. However, during this stage, children still have distinct limitations to their thinking process, especially when it's a concept that they haven't personally experienced. Do these have the same amount of water in them?
Yes.
What about these two?
Yes.
And these two?
Yes.
And these two?
Yes.
And what about these two?
Yes.
In the concrete operational stage, children gain conservation, which allows them to understand that quantity doesn't change just because shape changes. When the water is transferred to each glass, a child can comprehend that while the water level may seem higher in one glass, it's still the same amount because the height of the glass is compensated for by the width of the glass. The final stage of Piaget's cognitive development theory is the formal operational stage, which begins when a child turns 11 and continues into adulthood. In this stage, a child begins to hold a much broader understanding of the world around them. They begin to think in abstract ways and are able to hypothesize possible outcomes to a given problem and then think of ways to test those theories. As a result, they're able to systematically solve a problem in a logical way.
What is the answer to this complex math problem?
It's 12. I'm Mike, and I'm a formal operational thinker. When it comes to math, I get it done. Let's take this example. For example, the answer is clearly 12. You take 3 times 2, which is 6, times 3 times 1, which is 3, so 6 times 3 is 18. You have to add that to 3 times 2, which is 6, which is then 24. Dividing that by 2 gives you an answer of 12. Simple. That's it.
Due to Michael's extensive math background, he was able to take the knowledge he learned in the past and apply it to the math problem he was given. He did this first by looking at the problem and thinking of different ways to go about solving it. He then put his theory to work and was able to solve the problem quickly. In the formal operational stage, this is significant because children are able to do this in a more sophisticated manner than before.
If you had a third eye, where would you put it and why?
Me personally, I would probably put it on the top of my foot. I think it'd be a useful place, like when working on cars or whatever I'm doing, just to like look around things or get it up in there and see things that you can't see just from like looking down. I think that'd be pretty useful. If you had a third eye, where would you put it and why?
I would put it on the palm of my hand so I can like use it to look around stuff, and I'm kind of short, so like if I were at a concert, somebody was in front of me and they were really tall, I could just go like this and I'd still be able to see. Or I could do that at a movie theater too and still watch the movie. And if I were like trying to look at my neighbor and he had a really tall fence, I could just put my hand up and still see into his fence. If you had a third eye, where would you put it and why?
If I had a third eye, I'd put it on the back of my neck. If I had an eye there, then I'd be able to see behind me and have a near 360-degree panoramic view of all my surroundings.
While developing his cognitive development theory, Piaget ran a series of tests on different age groups. One of these tests was a simple question where he asked people where they would put an extra eye and why. Children in the concrete operational stage all said they would put it on their forehead because eyes only belong on their head. However, children in the formal operational stage were more creative in the placement of their extra eye, such as suggesting that it be put on the palm of their hand to see around corners. Former operational children are more likely to provide an answer similar to this because they can think in abstract ways.